Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/neckbeard stories because some people seem to like the storytime format, so I figured I'd bring those back a little bit. But if you guys want to see more of these storytime format videos, let's try to see if we can get this video to 2,000 likes. That seems like something that seems very much doable. And also, if you would like to see something happening with the channel, be sure to leave a comment down below, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications. Without further ado, let's get into this. Our first story comes to us from username Come at me bro. I quit my job at GameStop because of a neckbeard coworker. Am girl, painfully irrelevant. When I started working at GameStop, I thought it was a gamer's dream. Play and talk about games all day and get paid for it. What could go wrong? Oh, it could go wrong alright. One of my coworkers was a planetary neckbeard who always wore the exact same black shirt and black pants down to the food stains. He chugged Pepto-Bismol constantly. He was greasy all of the time, blackheads galore, would be r/popping's disgusting wet dream. Long black hair, always in a ponytail. His scent was best described as axe to acrid. Best guess on age was early mid-20s, but his acne was so bad I literally had no remote idea. He wouldn't do anything, both on his break and when he was supposed to be working. He sat in the back room playing games on his PSP on top of the console boxes, and he was so fat he actually broke one of the PS3s once. He used to pressure people at the food court to fill up his styrofoam food container with more food. On the down low, he got a number of the stores to charge mall employees a smaller amount for food so he could double his helpings per shift. He was so fat that he couldn't even make it out of the store in time for the timed alarm to set when we'd closed. He was so fat he would pick up his stomach and rest it on the counter. I want to make it clear that I'm not saying these things to fat shame him, but I am definitely hygiene and etiquette shaming him. He just never seemed to bathe or be aware of his surroundings. Battletoads was the funniest thing in the world to him. He would make Battletoads jokes all the time to absolutely nobody's amusement. He would even call the store while he was on his break to ask if we had Battletoads. He wouldn't care if credit cards were cut in half and retaped. He'd run them through anyway. This was Miami, so it may have been fair to assume half of the normal credit cards were stolen anyway. He would always make customers nervous by asking them about their first 4 digits of the credit card instead of the last 4 because he memorized them and he wanted to freak them out, and it was a totally inappropriate thing to do. He was apparently so hated by his previous GameStop that they barred him from working at one of the stores in a nicer part of town. He was always lazy, always left stuff undone. The only thing I actually saw him do was to alphabetize things on the upper shelves, but not the lower shelves because he never bent down. Sometimes he would sit down, but because we had such small space, the customers would just walk around awkwardly, so he just stopped doing that. He would always have a giant soda, biggest styrofoam container of soda they sold at the mall, all the time. But that's just the introduction. If everything I just described was the human equivalent of forgetting to pay a parking ticket on time, buckle in and prepare your body for social Hiroshima. One night, he asked me if I could drive him to the train station after shift. It being Miami, the outside temperature was usually around the range of the surface of the sun, so I figured it was at least a humane thing to do, considering the train station was several blocks away. As he got in my car, the car tilted towards him and remained that way for the duration of the ride. I don't remember anything we talked about because the words he spoke to me before he got out of the car have been laser etched into my brain for all eternity. When I get home, I'm going to whack it to you. I handed in my 2 weeks notice the next day. Boy, yeah, no, HR that now. Our next story comes to us from username Big Sassy Black Woman. Adventures at AnimeCon. Can I touch your mecha tots? Hot diggity dog, I just found this sub and I got a zinger. It's probably cheating if it's at an anime convention, but the experience I had was the usual, but 10 times amplified. So my girlfriend used to love to cosplay and then go to cons to showcase them, operative words being used to. She was usually conservative and didn't show much skin, more out of habit than morals, but I suggested she should try on something more revealing for the upcoming local convention because why not? not try out something new? She agreed, and after much deciding, we ordered a Playboy Bunny outfit themed for Diva from Overwatch. What a great idea! So we're at the con now, and she's dressed up like a centerfold with creepy, sweaty dudes practically groping everything with their eyes and all lolling about. Sometimes we would split up to see different things, and whenever I would meet up back with her, I s you not, the air around me would get at least 10 degrees Fahrenheit warmer. Probably the collective blood rushing to all the dudes' heads around us. Both heads. Ugh. And then the fun part starts. Some bony dude out in the crowd passes us, and he says loudly, "I would revive you at a time, diva," or something. It was innocent enough, and she did laugh at it, but to the rest of the sweaty virgins in the herd, it signaled as only one thing. You could talk to her. Then, like vultures to their dying prey, they surrounded and circled us, eagerly waiting for their chance to give their flirt, poorly disguised as a bad pun or inside joke. "Blast me with a self-destruct. Those aren't micro-missiles. Blizzard can't nerf that." Each statement became more cringy and less clever. We were getting increasingly and incredibly uncomfortable. We took one look at each other and knew we had the same thought. We had to get her out of there ASAP. There was just one problem. We were smack dab in the middle of the floor, and the long road home was filled with the likes of greasy fingers, horrible breath, and lack of understanding of personal space. Because she always wore less revealing clothes, we had to experience with this, and thus were sorely and unprepared for the journey ahead. The people around us constricted and strangled out route, as if some of these gross dudes wanted to accidentally brush up against her. To deter that, I walked closely in front of her to split open the sea of weebs for safe passage, but my physical body could not block the mental anguish that was these weirdos hitting on her, despite the very clear physical signs that we were dating. Finally, we're but a few steps out of the convention center, a few hops to the exit, salty air. I can see natural light. My hope is quickly dashed as this ogre of a man waddles through the door to go inside, at least 6 feet and 3 inches tall and 350 pounds. This gargantuan who smelled like a freaking rotten onion and had a beard covering his whole necks, blocked my way like the final boss of this great journey. There were stains in his shirt that features a bunch of anime girls, I can't say that, but organisming. Diva among them. He eyes my girlfriend up and down, and then utters the words I can never forget. "Hey, Diva, can I touch your mecha touch?" MF didn't even deliver it without stammering. She was mortified. This was almost the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I held back the urge to deck the guy and simply walk around him, making sure to keep her as far as possible from the dude. He just stares at me with this snide as F smile on his face. Like, if you weren't here, I'd be her gentleman right now. Outside, we rush back to the hotel room and get her changed out of it right away. We did not go back, and have not been to a con since that terrifying debacle. These days, we like to laugh about it and bring it up as the Mecha incident, but back then, our fear was as palpable as the air as the desperate eagerness of everyone around us in a 45-foot radius. 1 out of 10, the food was kinda alright, and the security that was supposed to respond to inappropriate conduct was a literal joke. Would not recommend. I gotta say, the conventions, yeah, unfortunately a lot of people don't really know how to shower, and also, if you really want to get the con experience, don't buy the con food. It's like $20 for a sandwich. Yeah, I gotta say, there have been definitely some weird experiences at cons, and really, if you want to get the best con experiences, try booking your own hotel room, and don't eat that at the convention center. There's most likely a very local area that actually has some decent food. I hope that experiences like this don't set the ground basis for what anime cons are for you going forward, because I've actually made some pretty good friends at conventions. They were decent people, not the type of people I would make fun of on these type of videos. And also, yeah, security at cons is pretty much a joke. They're really only there to just make sure that everybody walking in has their badge. I fully intend on going to Otakon 2021, so maybe I'll be able to do some kind of little vlog thing, and give like a perspective of what those cons are like, because I gotta admit, the video game rooms are really, really cool. Plus, unfortunately, this needs to still be said after I have no idea how many years, but cosplay does not equal consent. Please do not have any bit of your conversation include, "Can I touch them babblers?" or anything of the like. And with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. Plus, also, while making this video, yeah, I lost control. So, yeah, I've been making stupid jokes to myself the entire time I've been making this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more content like this one in the future, more specifically the storytime format videos, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start the wholesome internet discussions, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.